Good morning, all. Happy Valentine's Day for those I forgot to send cards to. I hope you're having a good time at these games. I am joined by, we're going to talk about athletes' experience today. As ever, we will talk about everything else as well. I am joined here by Donovan Carrillo, who competed in the figure skating from Mexico last night. Congratulations, well done. I'm sure you're happy with your performance. It's great to have you here. And in the mountains, we will have James MacLeod, who is Director of NOC Relations and Olympic Solidarity. And that's kind of obviously going to be one of the themes that he will talk about. And he's joined by another athlete, a skier, Mialitiana Clerc, Alpine skier from Madagascar. So we're going to talk about Olympic solidarity today mainly, but obviously all other questions on the table too. A couple of quick figures, as you'd expect. By the way, 9 medal events today. The EBU is reporting in Europe that 43 million viewers have watched coverage of Milano-Cortina on France Télévisions. That's 10 million more than at the same stage of Beijing and Pyeongchang. Highest level recorded since 2006, and the Olympics web and app is just about to go over 90 million users here. So some good interest and some good figures from us. So without further ado, I'm hoping, if the line is working properly, that I will pass to James MacLeod, who is in Cortina, I think. Yes, there they are.
Hello, Mark.
It's the Cortina jury is joining us. Do you want to do your little presentation, and then obviously we'll talk to the athletes briefly, and then we'll take some questions, move on to anything else after that. So James, away you go.
Yes, thank you, Mark, and good morning to everyone. As Mark said, happy Valentine's Day to you all. As tradition dictates, we always take an opportunity during these press briefings to give you a bit of information on Olympic solidarity and what work has been done in the preparation for these games. As you know, Olympic solidarity is the program that the IOC offers to the National Olympic Committees with the greatest need to make sure that they have all of the opportunities, whether it's for athlete development, coaching development, building of NOC capacity, but also community sport. And we have a budget of $650 million for the 4-year period leading us up into the LA Games. And one of the programs, one of our flagship programs, is obviously the Olympic Scholarships for Athletes. We run this program for both the summer and the winter games. And in preparation for Milan-Cortina, Olympic Solidarity offered 449 scholarships, individual scholarships to 449 athletes from 90 different NOCs and in 6 of the different sports. We had a budget of around $12.2 million that was invested in these athletes to prepare them through their training, but also their qualification events. So each athlete receives a monthly stipend from Olympic Solidarity to prepare them for the games, and they use that in the best way that they see fit. And we work very closely with the National Olympic Committees to ensure that they receive that scholarship. And we're very pleased to say that in Milan-Cortina, 249 of the 449 athletes managed to qualify for the games. So once an athlete does qualify for the games, the scholarship is confirmed up until games time, and that was the case for both Donovan and Mia, who received these scholarships over a number of years in preparation for Milan, and they'll tell you a bit more about it. And that was from 74 of the NOCs that are here in Milan. Now, one of the points for the scholarship program is obviously to support the smaller NOCs and their athletes in their ambitions to get to the games. And we're pleased to say that here in Milan, 92 NOCs are competing. In Beijing, we had 91 NOCs, so it's a record number of National Olympic Committees competing in Milan. And on top of that, obviously, we have the individual neutral athletes from Russia and Belarus that are competing as well. So moving on, we've also got another program that is available to the NOCs. You saw before 6 sports for the individual scholarships, but we have a team support program that also supports teams in their preparation. And here we've invested around $1.5 million in the teams that you can see there to help them to prepare for the games and hopefully qualify here in Cortina. And then where we are, we're only in the middle of the games. Normally we tend to do these press conferences with you near the end so we can show you the full results of the scholarship holders. But we're very pleased that already here on day 8 that we have 2 gold medals, 1 silver, 4 bronze, and 20 diplomas have been won by Olympic scholarship holders here in Milan. You can see one of them on the screen there, Laura from Bulgaria in biathlon, winning a bronze medal. So congratulations to her. So as I said earlier, we are joined by both Donovan in Milan and Mia, who is skiing tomorrow. So thank you very much, Mia, for your support today to be able to explain to the gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen of the press, what you're doing. Mark, with that, back to you.
Thank you very much, James. We'll come back to Mia. Thank you for joining us in the mountains in a sec. But let's, as you're fresh from competition yesterday, Donovan, just tell us a little bit about how it was to compete last night, and tell us maybe a little bit about your journey to get here.
Of course. Hello. Of course. Hello, everyone. Good morning. I'm just so happy and honored to be here in Milan. It really means a lot to represent my country in such a big stage like the Winter Olympics. It was a great adventure. I had so much fun. Also, the audience treated me in the best possible way. It was just a great environment yesterday. I did one of my best performances, not just of the season, but my career. And it was also very special because I had my parents for the first time watching me in the Olympics in the audience. So just to hear them before I start my competition in the audience was very special because I feel protected, I feel loved, and I feel inspired to do my very best in the competition.
And tell us about how you kind of got here. You were supported by Olympic scholarship, I believe?
Yeah, I'm a holder of the Olympic scholarship, and that was just a game changer for me. It gives me the possibilities to keep pushing myself, but also in better conditions. As you know, in Mexico, it's a bit challenging to find ice rinks to develop my skating. So in the last 2.5 years, I've been training in Toronto, which it's one of the best places to skate in the world because there's a lot of ice, there's a lot of great coaches. And in order to have access to that conditions, this scholarship was very needed and very useful. So I could have access to all these great conditions, and I honestly feel I'm here today talking with you guys after skating almost clean free skate just because of this scholarship. So thank you so much for the IOC and their programs that allow the athletes to go beyond their limits and keep growing, because I feel that's the journey every athlete deserves.
Thanks, Donovan. Okay, let's go back to the mountains, to Mia. Mia, you're competing tomorrow, so I think this is your 3rd Olympic Winter Games. Tell us a little bit about how Cortina compares with the previous and kind of how you ended up here, in a way.
Hello. So for me, Cortina is still an amazing experience for me because, yeah, I've competed like 2 times already, so I feel really prepared for these ones, and I really want to show the best I can do. And yeah, it's a really impressive atmosphere here because there are a lot of people watching us in the village, and we are in a village here, so we are still with a lot of different athletes and also a lot of different delegations, so we share a lot of different moments together. So I really feel like it's a real Olympic for me. It's a real moment to live with my family as well. So yeah, it's a really good experience as well, and I want to show my best, and that's it.
Thanks, Mia. Okay, let us take some questions. If you have questions on Olympic solidarity to Anything on NOCs as well? Obviously, we have James here and the athletes. So if we kind of start with that, and then we can move on to other stuff in a minute. Yes, gentleman here in the centre.
Hi, thank you, Hiroki Tora from Asahi Shimbun, Japan. Donovan, nice to see you again. And Mia, I have questions for the athletes and James, if I may. So for the athletes, could you talk about the situation of winter sports in your country and how your presence and qualifying for Olympics changed the popularity? And for James, if there's any other plans you're considering moving forward to maximize the nations who are attending the Olympic Games, can you share with us? Thank you.
Okay, so I would think it's fair to say that both Mexico and Madagascar are not greatly known for winter sports. So tell us a little bit about the scene, as it were, in Mexico, and then we'll come to you, Mia, hear about Madagascar, and then go to James for the other.
In my case, I started skating on a public rink, and the conditions of the ice was not the ideal. And then that rink closed, and I had to move to Lyon, to a different rink, but this rink was in a mall. So I had to manage to skate around the couples, skate around the people that was learning to skate, and do my programs with the music from the while the music from the rink was playing. So it was very challenging in so many ways. Those are some of that I can remember now. But I never thought my dream was impossible. I always tried to find the best of what I had and work with that. And I think that's key for all athletes, because of course there's always gonna be, you're not gonna be in the best conditions, but you gotta make it work with what you have, and that's my best advice that I could share today. And just do your best with what you have and be loyal to your dream.
And Mia, tell us a little bit about how you got into skiing and how you arrived here from Madagascar originally.
So I think a lot of people know it already, but I was adopted. I was born in Madagascar, and then some French people adopted me. So they were living in the French Alps. So that's how I started to learn skiing, and I started to join some different clubs around where I was living. And then I started to represent Madagascar on my first year, starting to do some races all around the world, international races. And I did my first Olympics, but I didn't expect it, because yeah, I was just doing some small races with just like 10 people or 30 people. And yeah, thanks to the Olympic solidarity and also the Malagasy Federation, Ski Federation, with the Vice President, Philippe Razacolona, now I'm here and I'm living the best dream every athlete could ever have. And I just want to show that I'm here, that I still love my passion, and yeah, that we all have the chance to do something really big in our life. And for me, it was the Olympics, so I will show it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. James.
Yes, thank you for the question. Olympic Solidarity is very committed to expanding as much as possible our support to athletes and to coaches. And that's across all sports, and whether it's summer or winter sports. As you know, the IOC president has launched a Fit for Future consultation to see what the movement thinks about where our priorities should be. And we're very pleased with the first feedback from that consultation, which is really to support that and to strengthen the direct support for athletes through these scholarship programs. The scholarship program has been going on for many, many years, whether it's in summer or winter sports, and it's really focusing on athletes' needs and helping them to get to the games. And if that helps to increase universality across both the summer and the winter games, I think it's a success. So we're very pleased here that we've had new NOCs that have been participating. We had Guinea-Bissau, United Arab Emirates, and Benin that are new NOCs participating in these games, and they were supported with Olympic Solidarity scholarships. So those athletes that were here are also scholarship holders. So.
Okay, let's go to Wakako first and then Graham. Yeah.
Thank you. Wakako. Wakako Yuki from Yomiuri Shimbun, Japanese newspaper. Hi, Donovan. I was there at the free skating yesterday, and you captured by your performance and your smile the audience. It was great. Could you tell us, now you have a bit of time, how would you enjoy the atmosphere of the Olympic Games from now on? Because this Olympic Games is for the first time widespread games. Do you think you have time to go to the mountains to enjoy a bit of ski competitions? Or do you find some places here in Milano to celebrate with your friends? And also, if I have any question on the athlete experience of Ukrainian nature, would that be okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to ask about Donovan's fellow skater yesterday from Ukraine, and he was telling us that these last couple of days, because of what happened in the skeleton, quite make it difficult for him to focus, and he was really he was talking a lot of things about against IOC, against the situation, and I guess, this is also athlete experience that IOC wanted to secure, and of course the IOC is into mental or of course welfare of the athlete. Is there anything that the IOC, not this individual, but he said the whole Ukrainian team is like that, can the IOC would do or recommend to do on this issue?
Question for me, yeah. Okay, so if you want to...
Okay. Responding to the first question, I'm going to try to enjoy as much as possible. I'm going to go see as many sports as I can. I'm very excited to go see all the sports that are here in Milan. And if I have enough time, I would love to go to the mountains and see the skiers. If not, I will for sure watch them on TV. I'm going to try to watch Mia tomorrow on TV. But yeah, I just hope to have the best experience here in Milano. There's a lot to learn from all different sports, and I'm very excited for that to happen.
Yeah, sorry, I guess the question was more for me, Wakako, but I mean, we didn't want to get into that situation yesterday, and there's no sense of triumph from us over what happened. It really is regrettable in many ways. But as we said yesterday, we have to enforce the rules. The rules have to be the same for everyone. Of course, we will give the Ukrainian team, as with all the other teams, all our full support. And I know that James and his team are in contact with those athletes and with the chef de mission, and will continue to support them, as I must say, as we will with all teams. But obviously, teams that are having any difficulties certainly will get extra support. Graham, yeah.
Thank you. Graham Dunbar from the Associated Press. Question for Donovan. As a check, when you came to these games, did you really believe that did you expect that you were going to qualify for the free skate? And if someone had told you before the games, oh, your free skate's only going to be about 12 points less than Ilya Malinin, would you have imagined how that would have happened? And how were the other skaters living through the drama of last night? Because the medalists came from a long way back. They stayed there in the medal seats, and coming to that sort of crescendo of emotion at the end.
I always saw myself competing in these games. I never had any doubt. I was sure that I was going to be here. On the short program, I had a mistake that cost me a lot in points, and points are very important for us. So for the free skate, I just tried to reset myself and start from scratch. Do not care about the short program and just focus on the moment. And I feel worked pretty well. I honestly feel my result could have been different with a stronger short program, but all the athletes, we think the same. We always think in the best possible scenario and try to imagine what could happen if I should have done this or that. But at the end of the day, I'm very happy with the competition result. Of course, yesterday was crazy. Honestly, for everyone who was in the audience watching the event, we didn't know what was going on. Like you said, it was so unexpected in so many different ways. But I honestly respect Ilya so much. He's such a great athlete, and he works so hard. So it just happened. You know, sometimes athletes struggle, and that's normal. That's a part of the sports life. And I wish him the best, not just here in the games, but also in his career. I know he'll go super far and he'll build from this situation. And I, of course, congratulate Mikhail Shaidorov. He totally deserved to be the Olympic champion. He did very well yesterday. And to put Kazakhstan in the map and giving his country the first gold medal in figure skating, it's such an important and big thing. And of course, I wish Yuma and Kao the best, because they also are very strong skaters. And I always try to learn from all of them. And I respect the podium. I honestly feel it's very well represented for my sport. And yeah, it was very special. It was a very crazy competition. But I feel the audience all over the world enjoy it as much as we did.
Thank you, Donovan. Okay, yeah, two gentlemen here. Yeah.
Ian Axon from Reuters. You touched there, Donovan, you said you might watch Mia skiing tomorrow if you can. I wondered, sort of a question to you and to Mia and perhaps to James as well, is there sort of a certain camaraderie with all the scholarship athletes, and do you ever get together and sort of discuss how you can sort of improve yourselves and the challenges of working in smaller nations?
In my sport, there's a lot of friendship. I always feel that we are very good friends, everyone. We pretty much grew up competing and skating together, so everyone is very nice to everyone. And related to the scholarship, I would love to meet more of the athletes that have the scholarship to see what they do with theirs. I tried to use mine in investing for coaching. I really used my funding to pay for my off-ice training and on-ice training, which is very important for me to improve. My sport is very specific, it's very technical, so you gotta work on the details, and the only way for that is to have a good coaching team. So yeah, I would love to meet more people from this program and see how they do.
Mia, Olympic scholarship holders, do you keep in touch with them? Do you meet them, talk to them, and then maybe James on the kind of more, do they get together? Can they get together? Mia?
I don't think so. Maybe I know some of them, especially in the ski disciplines, but I don't talk to them because, yeah, if it's different disciplines, we don't meet a lot for sure. But I also want to meet them and to ask them what they are doing with this help. And for me, it really helps me to train, because thanks to it, I'm allowed to travel a lot, because as an alpine skier, and I discovered also for a lot of different disciplines, we have to travel a lot to find the best conditions to train and also to race as well. And for us, we really need to find the best conditions to get better points and to improve a lot every day and do our best on skis.
James, question to you. You need to get these people together a bit more often, I think.
Yeah, it seems like it. No, it's obviously very challenging because everyone's training in different places, and we do a number of very informative newsletters, which you can receive as the press, if you're interested in that, with the little stories behind each of the athletes. So it is a service that we're trying to be closer to the athletes and really to listen to what their needs are, and that's what our team at Olympic Solidarity is doing. You can imagine with 450 athletes preparing for Milan and even more than that preparing for LA, it's a big program. But one of the initiatives that we do during games time is in the Athlete 365 booth in the Olympic villages, Olympic Solidarity is represented there, so that we can have direct contact with the scholarship holders while they're here in the Olympic villages. And it is fascinating to be able to listen to their stories, but also to give them more practical, impactful information on what we can do to help more. And it's not just through Olympic Solidarity, but Athlete 365 has a huge number of opportunities that are available for athletes at the Games. And so we put a lot of effort into that. But I agree with you, Mark. Maybe we should do an end of Games party for the scholarship holders. Do you agree? Yeah.
Yeah. Robert, yeah, question there, at the back.
Thanks, Mark. Rob Livingstone, GamesBits.com. For Donovan, I noticed you train at the Thornhill Figure Skating Club, which makes you my neighbor, so hey. So I know the arena very well. What does the Olympic Scholarship assist you in choosing where you want to train and accommodations and things like that? Do you choose those yourself and then use the funds to pay for it? How does it work? How do you end up where you end up to train?
That's a funny story. So I work with my current coaches on the side since 2018. I was going back and forth, I mean, like 2 times a year, maybe 3 times a year to Toronto. And they teach me how to do a triple axel, and we work on quads. Sometimes one of them used to come to Leon in Mexico to coach me. But at some point after the Games, I decided to have a different change. I needed to grow more as a person and as an athlete. So I wanted to expose myself to move to Canada and train there and see how far I could go. And Thornhill was the best place. I spoke to my federation. I spoke to people that have helped me in the past with the Mexican government and the Mexican Olympic Committee. And I proposed this idea, and they were all very supportive with me. So I think that was that's the reason of why I ended up in Canada, because everything just worked perfect. And yeah, it was a team decision, but I'm really happy that I make it.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah. FLZ,
Christoph Becker, Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung in Germany. Well, actually, following up on that, you training in Toronto and you're being from Mexico, and you're having a great program yesterday, the music, Elvis Presley. To me, I'm a layman, I'm not too informed about the intrinsics of the skating, but the music program was the best of the night, so congratulations for that. But my question refers to the big event that's happening in the summertime all over the 3 countries of Canada and Mexico and the United States. You as a Mexican, what is your impression of the relationship between the United States and Mexico at the moment? How would you describe it?
Honestly, as an athlete, I only focus on my training. I don't know much of what's going on around the world. I think this is just a stage for athletes to do our very best and fight for our dreams. Olympics is all about dreams. I think every athlete had one that is competing here. So I don't know much of what's going on in my country and politics. I feel my opinion, instead of building something, could not build at all. So I would rather just to keep talking about my sports career and what happened yesterday or what's in the future. But for that reason, I will just rather to pass that one.
Yes, gentleman over here on the right. Yeah.
It's a question for Mark. It's a question I never thought I'd ask, or a sentence I never thought I'd say, but there was a bit of a controversy in curling last night. I'm wondering what the level of awareness the IOC might have and whether there might be any investigation or complaints from the Swedish Federation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously, I am aware of it. It's clearly a matter for the Federation, the rules of the Federation. As I understand, the rules were followed and the result stands. So I think that's more a question for the Federation and I guess for the 2 teams. Okay, oh, no, Graham, yeah, another question down here for AP.
I've got a list for you, Mark, of questions, if you like. Following on from the curling, so one thing that might have come to the IOC is if any of the broadcasters, any of the rights holders had any issue with the curling, because the language was very intense and quite loud, and maybe they thought that was good drama, it's going to drive engagement. Any feedback from the broadcasters on that?
I can honestly say no, not yet. We might have it, but I haven't heard from the broadcasters at all. Question 2.
Yep, 2 and 3. Okay. I mean, Rule 62 of the Olympic Charter says there must and shall be a condom story. Is it just, you know, a must-have or a nice-to-have? Do they just not order enough? Because obviously there's, you know, economies being made all around the place. But is there a new supply coming in? And on a more serious issue, developments with Casey Wasserman overnight, sort of distancing himself from his talent agency. I mean, obviously they lost Chapel Roan during the week, which is a big deal. He says he's a distraction in that part of his working life. How does this not become a distraction for the Los Angeles Olympics?
Yeah, quite difficult to answer those two questions together. But on the first one, I mean, all I would say was that I mean, it clearly shows that Valentine's Day is in full swing in the village, and I don't think I can add very much more to that. As you say, it is Rule 62 of the Olympic Charter that we have to have a condom story. But I think 10,000 have been used, so 2,800 athletes. You can go figure, as they say. Okay, serious face now. Yeah, your serious question. I hope you've seen the statement from LA yesterday. So they had an independent law firm-led inquiry, and as far as they're concerned, they will continue with Casey Wasserman as their head. So I don't really have anything at this stage to add to that. And obviously, at this moment, we're concentrating on these games here, but I don't really have anything to add to their statement. Is that all your questions? Yeah. Yes, gentleman here.
So I have to follow up on Graham's condom story, and without embarrassing you too much, Donovan and Mia, have you heard anything about this? Do the athletes talk about this kind of thing in the village?
You weren't expecting that question.
I was not expecting that question. No, I honestly haven't heard. I just saw that this morning when I opened Instagram. I was like shocked, but as everyone else. But no, I don't know. I have not much to say. I just realized.
Faster, higher, stronger, together, I think is what I would say. Yes. We have to ask you in the mountains as well. I do apologize, Mia, but there's a question here. Is there a discussion about condoms in the mountains? And then we can move on, I think.
For us, I heard about this story, and when I saw on Instagram, it was really, really funny. But I'm not so shocked, but still shocked, but not so much, because I know that at the Winter Olympic Games, there are a lot of people using condoms, because I saw it in Beijing already. There were some boxes with a lot of condoms at the entrance of every buildings where we were staying at the village, and every day, everything was left. Everything was out of the box. So I think, yeah, I mean, I don't think anything about it, but I already know that a lot of people are using some condoms, or maybe just taking them to give to their friends out of the Olympics, because it's a kind of gift for them. But I don't find any points on this. But yeah, it's maybe they are using it just for as a gift or something like this, just for fun. So.
Okay, moving swiftly on. Let's thank you very much, Mia, for that. Let's move. Question from the mountains, I think, up. Thank you.
Yeah, this one comes from Emma Smith at the British Broadcasting Corporation, and she says, yesterday there were some reports in the snowboard halfpipe that a spider cam rope came loose and allegedly hit a child, and she wonders if there's any confirmation or comment on that, and what is being done more broadly to ensure safety.
I mean, you would expect me to say, and I will do, that safety of the athletes and spectators' workforces is our top priority. There is a statement from OBS which has just been released. I won't read the whole thing here, but just to say it was a lightweight nylon rope that came unattached. No one was seriously hurt, but obviously they are looking into it, and I can't really add anything at this stage. There is a statement, though, on that if you want to read it later. Okay, I think we're done with all those questions. Thank you very much. Two inspiring Olympians. Thank you very much. Really, really enjoyed that. And we will be back again tomorrow at 11. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.